Oh good, you're here! Today we will be making the first series of collectible charms available to the crew members on my Patreon space. I knew I wanted to provide something handmade to the top tier members of my Patreon for as long as I possibly could. Maybe someday this will need to change, but for now, I feel like I can provide some handmade swag to my crew. So I will. But what? This is something that I've been struggling with for a while because I want to create something beautiful that represents our time and our projects. In making the leaves for the storm bead video, I knew I was onto something. Strategery! Next, I needed to choose a material that I could rely on in terms of sturdiness and availability. I chose Sculpey. This stuff softens when you warm it up. If you work with it long enough, it gets almost stringy, melty cheese consistency. It's a pain when you're trying to sculpt detail, but for pushing into molds, it works a treat. To try and avoid unwanted lines and cracks in the Sculpey, I measured out an amount that was just too much to fit into the mold, and then added more if I needed to by pushing little bits into the center of the back of the charm, so the front would stay as a solid piece. I've been looking around trying to identify these different leaves. There's an obvious maple leaf, and an ivy leaf, I believe. Can we just say fern for that long, curvy one? Perhaps an elm leaf or two in there? I wish I knew more about plant identification. It's something I will work on. Do you guys have any idea what the rest of these leaves are? I cleaned the back of the charms with alcohol to remove any dust or fingerprints. I wanted to start with the Black 3.0 base because I'll be using the Interference Acrylic Paint series by Golden and Metallic Paint by Liquitex. Classic. If you saw my Monsoon Marble video, you'll know that I originally made these leaves out of resin. I would have liked to make these fellows out of resin too, but my stock is very low right now, so Sculpey it is! I'm adjusting my painting techniques with these, but I really loved how the leaves looked in that project, so I'm striving to color them similarly. If you haven't seen my other video, I'll link it down below. The color palette is once again dark rainbow. Listen, I just love how the black makes the other colors pop. Black makes the other colors sparkle and shine in such a magical way. I love it. I started with a metallic color, usually bronze, copper, or gold, as the base color, and then added pops of green, orange, red, and purple depending on how spicy I was feeling. Dry brushing the colors in light coats allowed me to slowly build color while allowing the black to still shine through. In some cases, I had to bring some of the black back. Don't be afraid of black in your art. It can make things so beautiful. I have no idea what kind of leaf this is. Do any of you know? Is it an artistic invention? It's very ornate looking and lovely, but I'm not sure if it's real. I'm sticking to a color palette that is mostly realistic for leaves throughout the seasons. I managed to get all the rainbow in there except blue. Anyone know of any blue leaves? Are there plants or trees with blue leaves? Not flowers, we're looking for leaves. These are the important questions of our day. Looks like there are a couple of conifers that sometimes appear bluish. We'll remember that for next time. I think some seaweed and a marijuana plant had a baby and created the plant that produced this leaf. If I'm wrong, please inform me gently. This one I think is a fern, right? There are purple ferns. I feel like there are probably purple ferns, right? Aha! There are apparently plants called Japanese painted ferns, that is probably not their real name, that have green and purple hues. Brilliant! What do you think about these? Aspen? Birch? They're connected in the mold, but I didn't sculpt them attached. It's crazy how 2 thin coats of sparkly paint makes these leaves so lovely. I am a fan. This guy has a lot of texture to it. Beyond the veins, it has bumps and divots in it too. What do you think? Elm? I really have tried to identify these guys, but you know, they could be pretty leaves that the manufacturer just came up with. But we are here to make them beautiful and unique. Our very own channel booty. Heh booty. Ah, this little ivy leaf, I think, is our exclusive collectible charm for the Leaf series. In every set of 6 charms, there will be a rare 7th charm that will be sent out to a couple lucky Tier 3 members of Patreon. This will be in addition to the 6 different charms in the series. These charms will be released once a month, so each series will last 6 months. After I was finished painting the leaves, I sealed the paint with triple gloss glaze. Perhaps it was just my twisted logic, but I feel like if the gloss is thick, it will protect the paint better. Is that an obvious statement or a silly assumption? Well, it was made! It took some time to dry, but it really brings out the sparkles and colors. I know I keep saying this, but I really love how they came out. So beautiful! Perhaps no one will be interested in these charms, but I could not be more pleased with how beautiful they came out, and I'm proud that these will be the first series of charms for my patrons. I wanted to create something that I felt would be worth the pledge and commemorate our community, and I think I have. Are there any charms you'd like to see offered in my Patreon space? What do you think our next set of 6 charms should be? You guys, you know I can't just leave it at this. Ah! Leave it? Eh? Leave it? Hehehe. Would it surprise you to learn I have many metal leaf charms and beads in my mess of art supplies? I feel like it shouldn't. I thought combining the metal with the clay charms would look fantastic. These are exactly my style, and I hope you love them as much as I do. You guys, if I have a whole apartment full of these charms in 6 months' time, I will be making all kinds of jewelry and embellishing my clothes with these things. They make me smile. Oh my goodness, this ivy piece is so magical. I love the red and copper and purple and black against the bronze filigree. The copper almost makes it look as if it's lit from within. I'd like to shout out the very first member of our crew, Extortion Bunny! Thank you so much for supporting our community on Patreon. I can't tell you how much it means to me. We're starting to build something, and I'm so glad you're here with me for it. If you'd like to check out what else we have going on over there, I'll put the link below. If you can't support me over on Patreon, your likes, comments, and subs here on YouTube mean the world to me, and I cannot thank you enough. I have some exciting things in the works. I'll leave some clues over on Instagram, so if you'd like to see what's coming, go ahead and check it out over there. I think that's all for today, my friends. Take care, and I'll see you next time.